top stories tonight. President Tinubu congratulates Muslims on Eid al-Fitr. Anger as NSCDC officials allegedly shoots innocent woman during Eid prayers in Zamfara State. 18 injured in lone crash on 3rd Mainland Bridge. Senegal's new president, Faye, attends Eid al-Fitr prayer in Dakar. Thank you for joining us. My name is Felicity, Ezewuike. Let's begin in Nigeria, where President Bola Tinubu has felicitated with the Muslim Ummah at Eid al-Fitr, an auspicious occasion that signifies the end of Ramadan, a hallowed season that reflects total submission to God Almighty and His command of sacrifice and service to mankind. We have details in this report.
The prayers kicked off at exactly 10:02 a.m. at the Eid prayers ground at the Dodon Barracks in Mainland, Lagos, upon the arrival of the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was joined at the prayer ground by the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Obafemi Hamzat, the Minister of Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola, former Minister of Works, Babatunde Raji Fashola, and the Private Secretary to the President, Hakeem Murio-Kunola, among other dignitaries. Eid al-Fitr is an auspicious occasion that signifies the end of Ramadan, a sacred season that reflects total submission to God Almighty and His command of sacrifice and service to humankind.
Even though Ramadan is wrong, as Muslims, we must show empathy to fellow Muslims, Christians, non-believers. It's not for us to judge. Even our prophets on the Muhammad in the Salah show empathy to everybody. So we have no business fighting anyone. Let us have religious harmony. Let us behave well.
For us as citizens, we have all our responsibilities and duties to our nation. Let us be disciplined. Let us be law-abiding. Let us ensure peace and harmony in our various communities. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says.
Addressing the faithful, he called for unity with a promise to improve the economy of Nigeria.
The kind of resilience, sacrifice, endurance that we have, we should preserve that for the country. Be kind and be cheerful giver. Love our country better than any other country. That's the only one that we have. And we must continue to protect the integrity of our government and leadership.
Muslim faithful also called for prayers for the nation with recommendations to the government and actions it can take to further alleviate challenges in the country.
My appeal to our people, one is that we need to pray for our country, and we have to have the love of our country. Then secondly, we've also appealed to the government to create more palliatives for the people.
So what the president is doing is commendable. It is tough, I must tell you the truth, but we need courage. And I'm sure that, especially with this Naira going down, things will improve.
The occasion ended with prayers that the lessons, blessings and joys of this season abide with all Muslim faithful and Nigerians at large, while wishing Nigerians a happy Eid al-Fitr celebration.
In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shatima has observed the Eid prayers alongside Borno State Governor Azuh and other families after a month-long Ramadan fast. They sued for peace, social harmony and development of the nation. News Central's Umaru Kirawa reports that families trooped in their numbers, adorned with new attires, to observe the Eid al-Fitr prayers. Shatima, who was joined by Zulum, expressed his gratitude for being able to celebrate with the people of Borno, a region that has been severely affected by insurgency. He highlighted the significance of unity and harmony during the celebrations, emphasizing the importance of peace and stability in the region.
We are quite excited. Eid Mubarak to all Nigerians. Let's pray for peace social harmony and development of our dear nation. That's our prayer and that's our best wish.
A former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has urged President Bola Tinubu to do everything possible to alleviate the concerns of the people. Atiku disclosed this shortly after the Eid al-Fitr prayers at the Eid ground in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. Abubakar, alongside the Adamawa State Governor, Amadu Fintiri, appealed to well-meaning Nigerians to contribute positively in the lives of the common man.
Well, it's most unfortunate, but the only way we can overcome this is to work hard and also to support government policies that are designed actually to alleviate, the sufferings of, the poor people, particularly the common man we call in Nigeria. Basically, policies that will empower, the ordinary person to be self-sustaining.
And in particular to urge us to live a life of moderation as enjoyed by Islam through helping the needy and ensuring that we coexist and respect one another.
In the ancient city of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shatima and Governor Azuh joined other guests at the Shehu of Borno's Palace to witness the Doba performance. This is part of the old tradition of the Kanem Borno Empire to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. Again, our correspondent Umaru Kirawa reports.
Maiduguri came alive as thousands gathered to witness the colorful Durbar hosted by the Shehu of Borno. The Durbar featured horse race with beautifully decorated horses and riders adorned in traditional attire. The event kicked off with a procession led by the Shehu himself, followed by notable dignitaries to the admiration of Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shatima and Governor Azuh, among other guests who were obviously impressed. The atmosphere was filled with excitement as the horses galloped down the racecourse, accompanied by traditional music and cheers from the crowd. It was a sight to behold, with participants displaying their horse riding skills, leaving spectators in amazement. The Durbar provides an opportunity for the community to come together and strengthen their bond, as well as showcase their vibrant cultural heritage to the world.
I urge the people of Borno State to intensify prayers for peace to reign in Borno State and for peace to reign in Nigeria, especially at this our trying moment. I also want to urge the people of Borno State to be law-abiding citizens and to be patient with the government, as the government is doing everything possible to reduce the hardship of the people, especially during this time of subsidy removal.
The quality of guests at this event underscores its importance and highlights the government's support towards preserving and promoting cultural diversity within Nigeria. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
As Muslim faithful in Nigeria joined their counterparts across the world to mark the Eid al-Fitr celebration, some citizens have called on government and other well-meaning citizens to extend a hand of fellowship to those in need. Idonk Joseph reports.
It's an early start for the Muslim Eid prayers after a long time of spiritual reflection. Muslim faithful in Abuja converged on several worship centers to join their counterparts from across the world to offer prayers, marking the end of the Ramadan fast.
They are celebrating today because they are finishing one of the pillars of Islam, and they learn many lessons.
The hope is that Muslims shall learn from the lessons of piety, sacrifice, compassion, kindness, and love for each other.
Several faithful here have finished their prayers and are set for the Eid celebrations with families and friends. And for many, the Ramadan concludes a period of devotion, marking a fresh beginning. While the day is celebrated with plenty to eat and drink, there are, however, some who rely on alms for survival, for whom the situation seems to be different.
I have when I don't have, now make me come outside to come and stay for road for here. If I have, I can come and stay for Melody. I can stay for my house and celebrate with my friends.
We have come here severally seeking for help. Nobody cares to listen or help us. Instead, they help those who don't really need any assistance. People discriminate us anytime we go to them for help, most especially those we practice same faith with. It is people from other faiths that cares to help us.
With the current economic reality taking its toll on citizens, some are calling on governments and well-meaning Nigerians to extend the hand of support to those in need.
We roam the streets every day seeking for help because we have children we must cater for. The government has done their best for us, but we wish they still do more.
Religious leaders have also tasked Muslims across the country to unite and pray for guidance from our Jewish leaders. In Abuja for New Central, I am Idong Joseph.
To one of our headlines tonight, there was pandemonium in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, on Wednesday as personnel of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, allegedly shot and killed a woman while attempting to pursue hoodlums. The tragic incident, which occurred while Muslims gathered to observe Eid prayers, has sparked outrage and unrest among residents, leading to an escalation of tensions in the area. An eyewitness narrated that the NSCDC personnel, in their pursuit of suspected hoodlums, armed with dangerous weapons, opened fire indiscriminately, resulting in the tragic death of an innocent woman. In response to the shooting, an angry mob gathered and vented their frustration by setting ablaze an NSCDC vehicle. Also in the headline away from that, operatives of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority rescued 18 injured accident victims at the Adekunle Inward Adeniji Adele on 3rd Mainland Bridge, Lagos. Director Public Affairs and Enlightenment Department of LATSMA, Adebayo Taufik, disclosed that 18 seriously injured passengers were rescued by LATSMA officials from Zone Lagos Island. Preliminary investigations revealed that a 20 fully loaded LT commercial bus speed lost control as a result of brake failure and was about to fall inside lagoon before it was stopped by the rail of the 3rd Mainland Bridge. While the truck driver ran away from after the accident, policemen provided security backup during the rescue of the 18 seriously injured passengers by LATSMA officials. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has ordered the immediate and indefinite closure of the Dosumu Market in Lagos Island following a devastating fire that razed 14 buildings on Tuesday. New Central reported on Tuesday that a fire broke out at the market at about 11 a.m. Bettina Uweli gives us an update.
The fire was seen still burning in some high-rise buildings in the market, with the fire service and other relevant institutions mobilized to bring down the affected buildings in a bid to extinguish the inferno. According to the Permanent Secretary of Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Femi Oke Osoyintolu, the fire affected about 14 buildings.
The threats or the challenges are that some of the buildings that were burned are very, very unstable. And you can see that systematically, strategically, we are pulling them down to ground zero. But however, before we could pull any building out, we will carry out solid material testing on all the buildings that were involved. From the last count, the number of buildings that were involved are 14. So we're on top of it.
This incident comes barely 3 weeks after 4 buildings were destroyed by fire at the same market. Some shop owners expressed how the situation has affected them.
The guy was pouring fuel inside generator and the thing went on flame. From there he threw the fuel down and the fire started everywhere. So it was terrible yesterday, and from there all the buildings, you can see for yourselves, all the buildings, all of them got flamed up and burned down completely. I depend on my business to feed myself and my family. So it is really going to affect me emotionally and physically.
All the authorities are doing their best. Firefighters are doing their best. But that is why I can be able to see it the way it is now. Because if not that, the way it was going yesterday, will have raised many buildings. But thank God that effort of many people, a lot of goods, worth millions, has gone down.
Frequent fire outbreaks in the Nigerian market scene, with Lagos State's worst hit, have continued to raise concerns. Last month, the Lagos State Fire Service reported that at least 16 individuals died and property, estimated at 7 billion naira, was lost to fire outbreaks between January and March 2024. The manner in which buildings are situated in Lagos Island without allowance for space is critically dangerous. The onus now lies with the authorities to endeavor they put all that is needed in place in order to prevent such an incident. In Lagos, for News Central, Bettina Nwili.
Coming up, Okuama residents in hiding following soldiers' killing. We will bring you details after the short break. Do stay with us. If you've just joined us, you're watching tonight. A reminder of our top stories. President Tinubu congratulates Muslims on Eid al-Fitr. Anger as NSCDC officials allegedly shoots innocent woman during Eid prayers in Zamfara state. 18 injured in lone crash on 3rd Mainland bridge. Senegal's new president Faye attends Eid al-Fitr prayers in Dakar. Thank you for staying with us. Now, 4 weeks after the killing of soldiers in Okuama community in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State, South Nigeria, one question that has been asked severally is what has become of the community and its people. News Central's correspondent Austin Azuh in this report brings us answers. His report.
The Focados River, surrounded by arable land and water, is part of the Owo Kingdom in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State. There is hardly any formal information on when and how the community was founded, but it has an estimated population of 500 adults who are predominantly engaged in farming and fishing. Its closest neighbors are Ijaw-speaking Okoloba and Akubene communities and Robo town of Orere and Amasumo. After the widely condemned incident of March 14, which led to the death of 17 soldiers, those who fled the community in the aftermath of reprisal from the military are still in their hideouts, mainly in thick forest. 4 weeks after, News Central attempted again to see what is left of the community. The first effort on land met a brick wall as it was described as crisis zone. But this time, we captured the desolate community from the sky. Every building has been brought down completely, except a place of worship that is still standing. We could not differentiate which belongs to royalty or the commoner. Our same faith has befall all, destruction. We then went in search of the people, though through the towns and villages and even on water. The search took us few days until we are able to locate these 109-year-old women and others. We spoke with them at different locations. The centenarian told us how she was rescued with her daughter from the community by soldiers when they arrived to burn down the community.
When they reach night, after they burn the community, they can't carry and both her daughter go put for the jet. You know, say they cannot be the code they do where we say that the code they can't do it. The soldiers are rather than the code.
Akibu here na wakili tina kaya hena aeruko kama yuko gobu tulai okera watu hulena ikole na nyama bihero kona hiyo koyibie iboya ikole kwa iboya ya watu hulena ya yemimo imo kwa ya emere ho ya yehwe era kwa sa ku itiobo akalikoko di aka ede idibo ya nyama mepoko iri igari.
Others told us of their losses in human lives and property. They appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Sheriff Oborewori to prevail on the military to leave their community so they can return home to pick up the pieces of what is left of their lives.
The Lord born and only this Raban me for man. I'm not sure that those Rabba did this where I did first. I know if you get them because I did and only here as only this way what I come out. Then now allow me. My phone 73 where they on top of my bed, they both the phone. I said they call my car put run. They burn everything, both to Rapa, both to my sister, both to my husband, but party where they never share, they burn all of them.
Really know what they happen. We beg government, I beg government hear our cry to restore the community back again. I beg government, I beg. We get old women when they don't enter bush. Most of them, some of them, they treat themselves. They are nowhere to be found. To eat now become problem. Everything they expensive for the Nigeria economic now. Make government still call us back. If maybe now the small cassava we get for bush where they not born, more still they harvest those one. They survive. Now hungry can't they kill the few people who remain for the community. I beg, make government hear our cry.
Within the last 4 weeks, various groups and individuals have demanded justice for the 17 slain soldiers, urging the authorities to fish out the actual culprits and let the laws of the land take its course. 8 persons were declared wanted, among them a traditional ruler who handed himself over to authorities. At the same time, military search for suspects has not abated. The concern is that with every passing day, the pain borne by the innocent, worsened by homelessness and deprivation, is made heavier. In Ugele, Delta State, for News Central, I'm Austin Azuh.
My colleague joins me now, Austin Azuh, who presented that report. Thank you very much, Austin, for that very detailed update on what is happening with Okuama community. I'm particularly interested in your drone footage, which showed that, I mean, looking at that, one would say it contradicts the assurances from President Tinubu that there will be no reprisals. What are the likelihood that these people will ever return to the life that they once knew?
First, good evening, Felicity. Well, from the footage and from the video we saw this evening tells the whole story, just like what happened to the Israelites in the Holy Bible after their walls were destroyed, the walls of Jerusalem. So it's going to be very difficult for these people when they return back. Finally, hopefully by the grace of God, once they return back, how they pick up the pieces of their lives again and begin life again is going to be a very tough decision for some of them to return home, because most of them might likely not going to start, have anything to start on. So it's going to be very difficult for them. But I believe home is home. So at the end of whatever decision that will be taken, probably they will be asked to go back home. Most of them will go back to their ancestral home and begin their lives again. So I know, of course, some of them will be willing to go back to their villages.
They did sound like they wanted to go back home with the appeals to the government. However, has there been any update on the investigation being carried out? Do you know what the fate of the king who turned himself in to the security agencies is at the moment, and the others that were declared wanted?
Well, let me begin with the king who was declared wanted and voluntarily submitted himself to the authorities. The last time we had a media chat with the military, they assured us that the traditional ruler is hale and hearty, that is safe in their custody, that they still undergoing interrogation. So at the end of their investigation and interrogation, probably they will tell us the outcome of it. But to add to it, that from the residents of the community that we spoke to, they told us that a lot of them have been declared wanted as well. So it goes beyond to say the fact that just the 8 persons that were declared wanted. So more people, according to what they told us, that they have been declared wanted. So currently, they are not happy with the situation. All they are begging the government is to pardon them so that they'll be able to go back to their ancestral home and pick up their lives again.
But before they can do that, of course, the investigation has to be concluded, as from what the army has told us. The state government is involved in all of this. What has been their response to the citizens who are yearning for them to ask them back home? Are they assuring them or giving them maybe any kind of time frame to return to the life that they knew?
Well, for now, the state government has not come out plain to tell us the fate of Okuama community, particularly the inhabitants of Okuama community, how it's going to be like for them. But from what a meeting they had with the panel of inquiry that came the other day, they said that they are going to present their own paper. So probably at the end of their presentation of paper, they'll be able to tell Nigerians, tell Deltans, tell the inhabitants of Okuama, okay, this is what we have for you. This is what we are going to present to you. But for now, nothing from government to show for now that, yes, this is what they are going to do or what they have done so far. As we speak now, the residents of Okuama, they are still in hideouts. Most of them, they are in the bushes, and they are actually crying for assistance, asking for relief materials, asking for, something to keep them going, so that most of them will still survive this trauma and they will come back home thereafter.
Austin, thank you very much for speaking with us and for that very detailed update. We appreciate your time and your work.
You're most welcome.
Umuahia, the state capital, is a project that must be given due attention to give it a befitting status. Recently, the state government, through the Commissioner for Information and Culture, Prince Oke Kanu, announced plans to put the town in order. Nisatra's Chinwe Ugele reports.
And the weary roads that constitute the East Gate is such an eyesore, unbefitting of a modern city. Severally, the state government has hinted about plans to situate the various businesses and motor parks littered all over the city center to better and more organized locations, yet has not been able to implement it.
In the state capital, you know that a lot of street trading is really making everybody to look messed up, everywhere to look messed up. And that is why I'm praying for governor himself to look inwards and sanitize the city, at least take them to the proper place where they should stay.
The park and the market should be located so that to give the environment, that is to make it lively and depict the capital for a state.
Commissioner for Information and Culture, Prince Oke Kanu, says time has come to put into action the plans.
Pursuant to the state government's plans to make Umuahia a smart city, government may soon activate its plan to redesign and beautify the East Gate area of the state capital and make it fit for a smart city. This plan has been on the drawing board for quite a while, but in the coming months, government will take this plan off the drawing board.
The citizens, on their part, expect a more appealing capital to complement government's effort in road rehabilitation.
More essentially, Isi Gate, Owerri Road, and along this Uzakoli Road from Opera Square to Obuja there. It doesn't look like the capital.
Obviously, there are a lot of work to be done. Look at people selling around and all that. It needs to be properly organized.
It is more disheartening when there is an available market abandoned by the traders who now trade in the open on unauthorized locations. In Omahafo News Central, Chinwe Ugele.
Earlier in March, veteran Nollywood actress and National Public Relations Officer of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Kate Henchers, lost her mother. On Tuesday night, a service of songs was held in her honor, and News Central's Bettina Uweli was there and shares her report.
Far and near, Nollywood came out in mourning. VIPs and guests gathered at the Trinity House Church for the service of songs of the late Theresa Etim Henchers, mother of popular actress Kate Henchers. The atmosphere was one of reverence and reflection as attendees paid tribute to the dearly departed.
Your mother was a devoted Christian. She has fought a good fight and has kept the faith. She has finished the race. Hence, what is awaiting her is what the righteous judge will give her on the last day.
On behalf of the President and the Executive of the Actors Guild of Nigeria. Unfortunately, President Chief Emeka Rolas MON could not make it to the venue because he's also bereaved and in faraway Anambra State, but he sends his regards and his love. And so to tell you, this steadfast, this song, we know that Mama was good, but like in life, God knows best why she had to go.
The service featured a session of praise and worship, each song carrying a message of love, resilience, and healing, bringing comfort to all who listened.
I could see from the time I visited her in hospital that she was determined to do it her way. She made up her mind, she packed her bags, and she left. Gloriously. I think we need to give Mommy another round of applause.
The loss of a relative is never a walk in the park, but it is hoped that in this season, a renewed sense of strength and unity will be bestowed upon the friends and family of the Henchers, giving them hope and fortitude for the future. In Lagos, for News Central, Bettina Uweli.
Condolences to the Henchers family. Still ahead, Senegal's new president attends Eid prayer in Dakar. We'll tell you more after the break. Do stay with us. Senegal's newly elected president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, arrived at the Grand Mosque of Dakar to join other worshippers for Eid al-Fitr prayers as Muslims around the world celebrate the festival, which marks the end of the Ramadan fast. Faye attributed his victory at the general elections to God and the citizens. He made remarks at the mosque following prayers, referring to the postponed presidential election which took place during Ramadan.
Que par la grâce de Dieu, nous avons pu commencer les jeunes, faire une campagne électorale paisible au Sénégal, faire une élection calme.
Let's bring you business stories from our business desk.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Welcome to Business News. Zimbabwe's new currency, ZiG, rose 0.2% to 13.50 against the dollar on Wednesday, with a cumulative gain of 0.4% since trading began this week. This is a significant change from the previous Zimbabwean dollar, which lost value every trading day this year before being abandoned last Friday. To reduce volatility, authorities have tied ZiG to the price of gold, making one ZiG worth about 7 US cents, the price of a milligram of gold. Despite this, Central Bank Governor John Mushayevahu denied that Zimbabwe is returning to the gold standard. Following the launch of the gold-backed ZiG, most shops now accept only US dollars for daily purchases. Government services are also disrupted as banks finalize the currency switch, and by midweek, only half of Zimbabwe's banks could process ZiG payments. The central bank plans to use the difference in local inflation rates calculated using both the Zimbabwe and US dollars, along with changes in the price of a basket of precious minerals held as reserves to set the ZiG rate. And moving on, the Ghana Statistical Service has announced that Ghana's inflation has risen to 28.5% in March. This is according to the Ghana Statistical Service, GSS, which ascribed the increase to the depreciation of the cedi, which has driven import costs higher, as well as rising cost of fuel, goods and food prices for customers. According to figures from the Ghana Statistical Service, non-food inflation went up by 22.6%, while food inflation increased to 29.6%. Locally produced items and imported items went up by 26.6% and 23.8% respectively. GSS also identified food and non-alcoholic beverages as well as transport as the main drivers for the increase in the overall inflation for March 2024. Finally, in East Africa, the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, has raised the tax rate charged on employers granting welfare support for the fourth straight quarter, dealing a setback to workers' benefits. The fringe benefits tax is a levy imposed on employees receiving extra welfare benefits, such as cheap loans in addition to their wages. In the latest adjustment, the taxman has raised the fringe benefits tax to 16% for the next 3 months until June, on account of the prevailing high market interest rate. That's it all for today on Business News. Thank you for watching. I am Perpetua Fasami Peter. The news continues shortly. Bye for now.
Business News in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money. Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum has warned that his side must prepare professionally to be able to challenge for the medal at the 2024 Olympic Games, the women's football tournament. The Super Falcons and Zambia booked their places in Paris as African qualifying games culminated on Tuesday. Nigeria, ranked 36 in the world, will return to the Olympics for the first time since 2008. They are grouped alongside reigning world champions Spain and powerhouses Japan and Brazil. The 9-time African champion qualified after securing a goalless draw against South Africa in Pretoria, progressing 1-0 on aggregate thanks to Rasheedat Ajibade's winner in the first leg. After securing the Olympic tickets, the Falcons coach charged the Minister of Sport and the Nigerian Football Federation to do all possible to help the team with the proper preparation.
Plea and my challenge is to the Minister of Sport and to the Federation to help us prepare properly. We need a camp in Europe to prepare for the group that we have. We need proper training. We need proper transportation. We need to do things right because these women deserve this opportunity to go represent our country of Nigeria in the best possible way. And as we know, with this field being small in the Olympics, every team is top teams. And you look at our group, it's again, like the World Cup, it's the group of death, so to speak. So those are some things that come to mind because I'm already thinking about now what we need to do to get ready.
Still talking sport, World Athletics has announced it will become the first international federation to award prize money at the Olympic Games.
The global governing body said a total prize pot of $2.4 million has been made available for this Summer Olympics in Paris, with gold medalists receiving $50,000. This will be extended to the silver and bronze medalists at Los Angeles 2028. World Athletics President Lord Cole called the decision a pivotal moment. There will be 48 athletics events in Paris, while the relay gold medalists to share their prize money among the team. The prize money will not be applied to the Paralympics, which takes place from 28 August to 8 September 2024, as the para-athletics is governed by the World Para-Athletics. Moving away from that, Tyson Fury has warned Alexander Usyk that while the Ukrainian might have defeated Anthony Joshua, he won't be able to overcome an elite big heavyweight boxer. Fury, the WBC champion, meets the unified WBA, WBO, and IBF title holder Usyk in an undisputed heavyweight championship fight on May 18. Fury paid due respect to his Ukrainian opponent at a press conference in his hometown. His confidence is rock solid that he would prevail in their May 18 clash. The self-styled Gypsy King is determined to leave his mark on the sport history and crown himself as an undisputably the best heavyweight in the world next month. Finally, in the world of sport, in recent development, Joseph Parker has produced another hilarious call-out video, this time targeting a rematch with former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. In the video, Parker is seen recalling a footage of the first fight between the pair and manifesting a rematch in a notebook which says he is ready. The video ends with two Lego figurines inside a Lego ring with the faces of Joshua and Parker attached to their heads. Joshua recently hinted his next fight will be in August and is in line to face the winner of Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk, who will fight for the 4 world heavyweight title next month on May 18. And that's it in the world of sport. I am Onyinyechi Obaru. Entertainment news is up next.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile. Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Emeka Rollas, president of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, has debunked rumors of actor Junior Pope's death, confirming that he is alive and currently receiving medical treatment, despite earlier reports by filmmaker Samuel Atunji claiming that Pope died in a boat accident on the River Niger. Rollas reassured fans on Instagram, emphasizing that Pope is ongoing recovery in the hospital. This clarification comes after a wave of mourning and tributes flooded social media following Olatunji's announcement. The film community and fans had been left in shock by the news of Junior Pope's alleged passing in a tragic accident. Rollas' statement has provided much-needed relief and hope to those who admire the actor's work. The incident highlights the challenges and risks actors often face while shooting in demanding environments, sparking discussions on safety measures in the industry. Here's a video of his, which was released earlier before the boat's capsizing.
I got 3 children, I will go raise them. I beg, take a small sport. Don't like this is a risk. Swag Nation, see the risk we take. It's okay like this, I beg. Don't speak. See the risk we take, people, to entertain you.
As of now, this is the latest update we had on that story. Moving away from that, after the success of Barbie, Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap Entertainment is producing a Monopoly film with Lionsgate and Hasbro. The world's most popular board game, celebrated for its global reach and nearly century-long legacy, is set to get a live-action adaptation with no plot details revealed yet. Anticipation builds on how the team will transform the game's iconic elements into a narrative Robbie's production house, known for hits like I, Tonya and the record-breaking Barbie, is in high demand, promising a fresh take on the beloved game. That's all we can take on entertainment tonight. We'll take a short break, and when we are back, we'll bring you the updates on what's trending tonight.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Moving away from entertainment news, today, Third Mainland Bridge takes the center stage in the latest trending stories. In a distressing incident on Lagos Third Mainland Bridge, 2 passengers were ejected into the lagoon following a vehicular accident, with several others injured. The mishap occurred when a speeding bus collided with the bridge railings, leading to a swift response from the Nigerian Marine Police for rescue operations. Nigerians have highlighted how this tragedy underscores the critical need for stringent traffic safety measures and enhanced emergency response protocols to prevent future occurrences. Other Nigerians on social media also call out to the government for intervention to ensure the safety of infrastructure and the enforcement of speed limits to protect citizens. Nigerians on social media, of course, had reactions to this story. Let us read some of those reactions now on X. We have a tweet from Mobalaji saying the accident that occurred on Third Mainland Bridge today is still the negligence of the state government. Most of these yellow buses are not worthy to be on the road, yet they drive recklessly. Now we have a missing body in the lagoon. Ambode's plan was to actually scrap them. Sanwo-Olu came and he's acting like he reports to MC Olomo. Even the traffic agencies ignore the offenses of these drivers, and something needs to be done to caution them. We have another tweet from Ali saying, after the reopening of the bridge, all motorists were advised to maintain 800 kilometers. There are regular routines a driver must do before driving on the road. These guys do not do it, but we still come online to blame the government for their negligence. It is well. We have another one from Nightcrawler saying, if they do something, you would all shout that they are being reckless with the people. They have stopped their means of sustenance, etc. Yes, I agree. These vehicles should be taken off the roads. Our last tweet is from Dan Foster saying the solution is not to scrap the yellow buses, whichever color is required from the government. It is just to repaint for them. 90% of these commercial buses are expired and not safe for transportation. That's all we'll take tonight on What's Trending. You can share your thoughts across our social media platforms at News Central TV. I am Jadel Simon.
That's all we have for you tonight. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. President Tinubu has congratulated Muslims on Eid al-Fitr. Anger as NSCDC officials allegedly shoot innocent woman during Eid prayers in Zamfara State. A teen injured in lone crash on Third Mainland Bridge. We also brought you news that Senegal's new president, Faye, has attended Eid al-Fitr prayer in Dakar. Would like to hear from you. Please send your eyewitness report to the number showing now on your screen. You can also follow us on social media to do that at News Central TV. We're live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV and on YouTube. As always, thank you very much for your kind company. Have a good night.